to another NBA edition with the OG crew. And we got all four of us back today. We missed you, Bavano, on the last episode. So I'll come to you. How's everything been with you? Hopefully NBA's been treating you well, at least.
Yeah, I lost all my Twitter access and accounts, Skee. Other than that, everything's great. Yeah, that's the big news right here is that no Twitter account for yours truly anymore. My original account was hacked into, taken over. They changed the email and the password. I can't even get into it. I'm trying to get control of it back, but I'm still waiting on that. And then I started a new one the next day, and they've suspended that because they say I violated Twitter policies, and I assume it's due to this impersonation policy, and they think that this person's impersonating me, who's locked out of his own fucking account in the first place because it was hacked. So that's what we've been dealing with for the last 3-4 days. That's why I missed the show on Tuesday, because I'm trying to deal with all that shit. And trying to get that all figured out. So for now, follow at @the_ice guys. Okay, that's @the_ice guys. That is the Twitter account of my daily NHL hockey betting show that I do with Alex B. Smith. So you can find me on there, and that is where I will be tweeting from for the next little while, next few days, next couple weeks, until hopefully I get the original account back.
Yeah, hopefully it all doesn't take too long. But we're definitely happy to have you back on the show. I'm gonna come to you next here, Dutchy. We talked on Tuesday, and I feel like you had a good day. I feel like NBA's been treating you well. How's everything been for you?
Oh man, the NBA is a hell of a drug. Hey, you looking at the plugs, man. Yeah, to be quite honest with you, the Suns fucking pissed me off on Tuesday. When you take L's, we talked about it. We talked about my great call by our guy WAM with the Sixers against the Nuggets. I thought, like, why wouldn't we on the Nuggets here? And you guys pretty much told me why we wouldn't be, and I stayed off of it. I stayed off of the Clippers as well with the Thunder. I was more right on that than I was on the Nuggets. All right, but at the end of the day, when I lose a bet, it's one you're not going to win every bet, right? So I mean, it's part of this thing we do, but when you can't explain why you really lose, besides the fact that the team just didn't want to play, I mean, it's quite frustrating. I mean, I had Phoenix -4. They're down 22 with 8 minutes to go, and just said like that, let's go 90. Like, 1% chance they end up winning by 2. I was praying for overtime. Some bull ass shit. Took it on a chin. 2-2 yesterday, so paid a little juice. So I'm ready to get into black, man. Got one play today. Was really frustrated with that cancellation. But bigger things. Obviously, rest in peace to the Golden State Warriors coach, his family. Obviously that's more important than basketball. But I was very frustrated that game was not on the board last night. But looking to get back into black today with the fellas, most definitely.
Yes, sir. Back with the fellas is always a good thing. Wham bam. Everything been good with you?
Yeah, man, feeling good, bro. Can't complain. Yeah, like you said, rest in peace to the coach, man. That's definitely what we want to get. The sentiments there. Heart attack at 40, early 40s is just unexpected for anyone. Right there. So definitely condolences to his people, his family, and everything. And legacy goes on for sure. We're gonna think about him for sure. But definitely, I'm thinking getting back, like my boy Dutch said, getting back to the black man, getting right to the money. Yesterday we did it up with the Portland. They won outright. That was a good money there. And looking to do the same shit again today, bro. I got one locked in as well, and I'm thinking to add more here, talking it over with the peoples, bro.
You rubbing off on Wham Bam, Skee, or Skee rubbing off on them, man. Fucking y'all getting these ugly ass motherfuckers and finding a way, coming through Chuck E. Cheesed up. You know what I mean? Got the ugliest.
Yeah, the Blazers is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this is the Twitter account, correct, Babano? That you're using?
That's the one, yes. @the_ice guys. That is where I will be. That's my home for the time being on that Twitter X. Yeah.
All right, sounds good. So make sure you guys follow him over there. And let's get to it, y'all. We got 5 games up for today. I feel like there's some money to be made for sure. Rotation order as always, and we'll start at 521, 522. Chicago Bulls, Toronto Raptors. Opened up Bulls -2. Still sitting at -2 everywhere. Total opened up 223.5, and it looks like 228. As far as the injury report, let me just hit refresh one time. For Toronto, Jakob Poeltl is out. Otto Porter out. For Chicago, Torrey Craig is out. Looks like Patrick Williams is game time. Terry, Drummond, and Dosunmu are all likely to play, probable. So I'll come to you first here, Babano. And Toronto, they did exactly what we thought, exactly what you said to start that trade over. And they've been playing good basketball lately. They've covered 8 of their last 12. Chicago, they don't play as fast as Toronto. Do you think they'll still be able to play well enough to get this one up and over?
Yeah, this is a good, interesting game. You're right. Toronto, we talked about this every time I've been on this show, that since the trade and getting Quickly and Barrett here, they played better. They've covered some numbers. Now, they had a tough end of the road trip. That Utah spot was a brutal spot. End of a very long road trip. They got whipped. They got blasted by the Utah Jazz. They come back home. They face a good Boston team, and that's as tough as it gets. A long-ass road trip. You come back home. Oh, you got to play the best team in the East, the Boston Celtics. Have fun with that. So a brutal spot again for Toronto. But they bounced back last night with not just a win, but a beatdown of the Miami Heat, 121-97. You know, it's funny. I actually bet Miami last night in that game. So it was not a good call there. You know what I underestimated? I underestimated that without Siakam after getting traded to Indiana, that they'd be depleted. And I underestimated the impact of that coach, the assistant coach for Golden State, passing away. He's Serbian. Guess who's also Serbian? Toronto Raptors head coach Darko Rajakovic. And so there was a little bit of a speech before the game from the Raptors coach to the team saying, you know, this is a hard day for me. I knew this guy, the assistant of Golden State, since I was a teenager. And he said, I love you guys, apparently, before the game. He said, Rajakovic said that to his own Raptors team. And man, they reciprocated the love last night with that performance against the Miami Heat. They just awesome. They came out of the gate storming. And there was no doubt about that game. So I'm reluctant to go against Toronto, but it's a back-to-back. It's a rest advantage here for the Chicago Bulls. So for that reason, I'm off a side. I lean Raptors. I like this over, though. I'm going right back to the well with Toronto over the total here in this game. You can get 227.5 right now at FanDuel. I like it. I think you're going to see pace. You've seen pace from the beginning. And believe it or not, with Siakam now out of the mix, traded to the Pacers, they're even playing faster than they were with just Quickly and Barrett there. Their pace numbers were off the chart last night without Siakam, even higher possessions per game than they had been in the games just before Siakam got traded. So they're probably one of the fastest paced teams right now in the NBA, Toronto. They have to be, and they looked like it last night against Miami. And the offensive fluidity looked great without Siakam. It really did. Quickly's making shots. Barrett, they gave this Porter kid, Jonte Porter, an opportunity at the starting center spot. He looked good. I mean, their offense looked fine without Pascal Siakam to me. So I think they'll score points here in bunches, playing at this rapid fire pace. But their defense is still suspect. Raptors do give up points. The one thing about Siakam being gone and Pirtle being out, quick pace and lack of defense. Defense really, really takes a hit without both of those guys. So Chicago should be able to score their share of points tonight. So really, really like this play. Really, really like it. Over 227.5.
All right, but Bano thinks it will continue, and I can't talk you off. I like the way the Bulls have been playing offensively for the most part, besides that last game. And playing through Vucevic, I think, is a good idea. And I agree with the pace, everything we've been saying for the Raptors. So good stuff. I'll come to you next here, Dutch. I have a feeling this might be a tough one for you from a side perspective. Which way are you looking at it? Muted.
My fault. Yeah, you got a good feeling on this one because this one's like tug of war, man. Make side for both cases on this bitch. But shout out to Raven Ron, casting the Cavs and the Magic, both dogs yesterday. Good shit. Mayne in the building. Raul, good to see you in here. Let's keep it going. Run up them likes for the boys. Yeah, man. This game is fucking difficult. I think it's a Chicago spot. Been playing good ball. Had 1-4 of the last 5 until they went to Cleveland and did what we knew they was going to do and get smacked the fuck around. 18-point loss. Let them know, Simple Mitchell and the boys got in that ass in Chicago. Now you travel here to Toronto. Bobano said it, obviously the passing affected the locker room of Toronto as well. The boys responded after moving. I mean, you move Siakam the same goddamn day, and then you throw Gary Trent out there, and this motherfucker go 8 and 9 from 3-point line. I mean, it's you look pretty damn good when he's chucking it up like he's back in fucking shoot around. I mean, 10 of 13 from the floor, 28 points, and 8 of 9 from the perimeter. Shout out to Mr. Trent. I don't know if he's gonna do that again, but yeah, I don't like, from a defense perspective, it's crazy how Toronto just completely switched the script. Now they got Quickly and Gary Trent as your starting backcourt. That's definitely suspect from a defensive perspective, in my opinion. So I like where my guy Bobano's going with the over, but I could only look Chicago here. Is Toronto going to ride this juice? I don't know. We've seen them do it when they made the trade, and then they had lost 5 out of the last 6. A lot of people like Miami last night. I mean, they make the trade, they get rid of one of their best players, and they go out there and fucking beat a team that's playing good basketball by 30 the whole entire game. So I'm not going to step in front of Toronto right now, but it's Chicago or nothing for me. Also, Toronto does play New York not tomorrow, but 2 days from now. Maybe slight look ahead to New York. Obviously RJ Barrett quickly going back. They just did the trade. Maybe they're thinking about Madison Square Garden right now, but maybe not. So I'm gonna stay off this game, bro.
Fair enough. We don't have to touch every single game. I was leaning towards Chicago. They have been a better defense and rebounding team as of late. I don't like to go. I mean, it's tough. You can look at it both ways. Stuff in the locker room, they definitely responded yesterday. Will that emotional, thing carry over today, or will it be a letdown today? You can look at it either way, and it's tough for me. So maybe Wham Bam feels a little bit stronger about this, or maybe Wham says, "Forget the size, give me a player prop." How you feeling, Wham Bam?
I am thinking more so leaning towards player props here, and I'm zeroing in on Scotty Barnes, bro. I know he had a triple-double against this team before, and again, like you said, it's kind of like right after, the boy Gary Trent go crazy. You kind of think he comes back down to earth. They lean on somebody that they, kind of want to dial in on and center this whole team around anyway. His points prop is at 19.5. I think that's pretty favorable right now for Scotty Barnes, knowing that he's going to be the go-to guy leaning forward to this end of this season. So I don't think it's going to be at 19.5 pretty long. So I think that's good value there. I haven't looked at that at all yet, but I kind of want to say Bobano may be onto something, because typically this team has been bad in the first quarter. I think they're 3-7 ATS in the last 10 first quarters. That last game, they damn near did it up like you said, and I think they could translate into this game. And the Bulls, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not really sold on this Bulls being a good team. Like you said, them being a good rebound team. I'm not gonna lie, I want to hit Scotty Barnes triple double. It's plus 2,000. That's kind of scary. That's kind of like something I want to sprinkle a little bit on. Take his points prop here, but nothing official here. But that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Scotty Barnes, the way you looking, I like Bobano's look on that over. Still leaning towards Chicago Bulls. Unsure if I'll have a bet on this game. But good stuff by everybody on that game. Let's move it on over to the next one. That's 523, 524. Washington Wizards, New York Knicks. Opened up Knicks minus 11. It's moved on up, looking like minus 12 everywhere. Total open 237, and that has come down. Consensus right now is 234. For the injury report, Daniel Gafford out for the Wizards. On the Knicks side, Mitchell Robinson, of course, has been out. Josh Hart, questionable for tonight. So I'll start, back around. I'll go to you here, Wham Bam. And this Knicks team has, the other side of that trade has proven true, like Bobano said. A lot of unders, and Knicks have played really good basketball. They're on a back-to-back here. Can they do it again without rest versus a Wizards team who has 2 days rest? What do you think?
It's interesting though, man, because this Wizards team, you are the Wizard. Actually, I don't know why you.
I love them fuckers.
I don't know why. You full of shit for that. No, just like,
but no, you think of them as dogs, they be winning outright and shit.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm scared to go up against them because of that. And like my guy does say, like, you got me thinking to look at these dirty dogs, bro. And they top 10 in allowing the 3-point makes. But number one is the Knicks, man. They defense is just like Bubano said, bro. They've been holding it the fuck down last 5 games. They the lowest, second lowest in holding opponents to points because of what the Cavaliers did yesterday. But 99.9, that's under 100 points. Do I think they could hold this team to under 100 points? No, I don't think so. I think this team is probably going to play a little bit better than that. But holding them under their team total, I think that is capable in this spot here. So I think that is a good look. Possibly just taking a team total under for the Wizards here. But I'm scared, bro. I'm not going to lie. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from the Wizard himself. I don't really want to go up against this team just because I know that this is a better team in the Knicks, and I expect them to be better long term. And I don't know, bro. This is a tricky ass game here. I want to hear from you though. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, I'll say this before I pass it on over. The Wizards team total under for what Justin is saying here is because of that Knicks defense. I think they've only allowed one opponent over 106 points. So that's why everybody likes the Wizards team total under. But I don't think it's the best spot to be trusting the Knicks defense in. That's just my personal opinion. I thought about the Wizards in this spot. I really did. The thing that held me off of the Wizards, I'll tell you, the Knicks have been dominant versus teams who are not elite. Teams, I think the number I put on it was less than 55% win teams. When I looked at that, they were killing it on the point spread, winning by double digits easily every game. And I think they only got better right now. So just to know that in the back of my mind gave me a little bit of pause. So with that, Dutch, how you feeling about Washington versus New York?
Man, I'm feeling pretty good about the motherfucking Knickerbockers right now. They handled business yesterday against bummy ass Rockets on the road. You know, I mean, I call them the bummy ass Rockets when they on the road. At home, you know, they ain't the bummy ass. They just bums. You know, they all right at the house. They're good against a number for sure. But yeah, there's levels to this shit, man. And we talked about it last show. Skee. No Brunson, no bueno, right? And this motherfucker came back. And he got that money, man. And they're a real team. And we talked about it a little bit on the hoop, all about the hoops. Shout out to our guy Wham Bam, came on and gave us money again. Motherfucking golden. God damn it. Late night West Coast Wednesdays, you need to find Wham Bam because he's giving out money, man. He's gifting motherfuckers. It's only right. But yeah, man, check this game, like Jalen Brunson. I said it last night. First half, like you could take the Knicks first half. But they're not the same Knicks as before. This is a good basketball team. So, like, they could flip the switch. So, as I said last night, I think the full game's a better look. Here, maybe first half you could go Knickerbockers. But I just think the Knicks are actually, when you have a closer in Jalen Brunson, you see what they look like without Jalen Brunson out there. You got Julius Randle taking the last shot. That's not what you want. All right, now that's when you bet first half type of shit with the Knickerbockers. But I just look at it as, like, people saying team total under for the Wizards. I think if anything, it'd be team total over for the Knickerbockers. We know these Wizards could, you give us four and one more, we getting a hundo on these motherfuckers, man. I mean, they give up buckets like it's the thing to do. So the Wizards, I see absolutely no effort from them on defense, and they're just gonna try to outscore you. I don't believe they're gonna outscore the Knicks. But here's what I think though. I do think Jalen might sit, bro. I think he might be a late scratch. He played 30 minutes last night. 30 plus minutes last night, had 30, first game back from that calf contusion. Why run him out there against the Wizards? I mean, you're a 12-point favorite. So if you do like the Wizards, I'd bet them now because I have this feeling that Jalen Brunson don't play tonight. And you did say Josh Hart was questionable. With or without Hart, they're going to handle these Wizards, but they're a different team without Jalen Brunson, believe
it. 100%. I ain't been on the Knicks. What Casey said right there is my exact thoughts. Randall, for my money? Oh, hell no. I'm not putting a spin on that.
Looking like a fucking B-grade LeBron. He thinks he's like LeBron or something with that step back, with that three. I don't know. Lefty.
No, he do.
He ain't LBJ, that's for sure. He all right, but he ain't LBJ, goddammit.
Yeah, I'm not buying what he's selling.
No.
But passing it over to Babano. Dutch thinks it's a little bit of levels to this. How you see it playing out, Babeno?
Nothing. Pass. Easy pass. Easy pass for me on this game. I don't want Washington. I don't trust Washington's been covering some numbers a little bit more lately, but I don't trust them enough. They've been whipped by 16 and 21 in the 2 games against New York this year. New York's just destroyed them in both games. Now, it is a back-to-back for I love the Knicks last night. That was the spot to really get on New York, was last night against Houston. Off a loss to Orlando, they weren't happy. Houston's been struggling lately. I'm going to take my New York money from last night and run. Nothing for me here.
Fair enough. It's not often that Babano passes.
Backwood.
But he
Backwood this month.
Not interested in that one. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That was cold.
525, 526, OKC, Utah. Opened up. OKC minus 3.5. Not much movement at all. I mean, a couple threes out there, but still a lot of 3.5s. Total opened up 245.5. I see it as low as 243.5. So 2-point drop is the biggest I see. Injury report, nobody on there for Utah. I did not see anybody on there earlier for OKC. Now I see Trey Mann game time decision, Johnson game time, Dort game time, Jane game time. So I'm gonna come to you here, Dutch. This is probably the best game on tonight. Jazz have been playing really good basketball. They've been really, really good at the house. Which side you looking at here today? Muted.
You're muted, my.
Oh shit. My fault. Take note, man. Take motherfucking note. Believe that. They're the best thing going at the crib. They really are, man. I mean, we have to go over it again. I mean, they haven't covered 3 games at the house this year. They haven't covered 3 motherfucking basketball games at the house. Not to mention they've been winning. Like, they've been winning basketball games, let alone cover. And these are good basketball teams. In the last 2 weeks, I mean, they beat the Sixers, they beat the Bucks, they beat the Denver Nuggets. I mean, I could keep fucking going. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see them beat the Warriors' ass last night. So they got an extra day of rest, chilling at the crib. Utah, man, they deep as fuck. They're going to run you at the gym. This is a good OKC basketball team. Should be a good basketball game, but I think just strictly on value and what it is, just the trends. I mean, I think you have to take Utah here. And probably the least confident I've been at Utah at the house. I will say that. I got the 3.5. I like it, but it's the least confident I've been on Utah in the last, and I probably won 8 bets on these motherfuckers in the last 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So I love the Jazz. I love what I'm seeing. You guys kind of led me to it, obviously, with them, everyone getting back. Marking offensive. You heard what Rick Carlisle said. He said he's the closest thing to Dirk Nowitzki. Maybe we need to start watching this motherfucker a little bit more. But I don't know, man. I don't know. They're nice. They got a lot of guys that can put the ball in the bucket, from Sexton to Clarkson. I mean, I could keep going, man. They got a lot of guys that can get hot. And at home, they're bet the fuck on. So OKC could definitely come in here and win a basketball game, losing 2 straight to both LA teams. Only thing I really don't like about it is that, to be quite honest with you, and obviously the best player on the court plays for the Oklahoma City Thunder and Shea. But yeah, man, I can't go against the trends. I like what I see out of Utah. As a dog too, this should be a 1 to 2 possession game. So I think they win the game. You're giving me 3.5. I have to go to the window with it. Shout out to our guy Razor Sharp Picks in the building. Good to see you, my dude.
Yeah, shout out to Razor. Appreciate you sliding through. Dutchy liking that Jazz plus 3.5. Babano, they said they want to hear what you got to say about your OKC Thunder. Let us hear it. You going with the Jazz or OKC?
Yes. That's a great question because I love my Oklahoma City. I love the Thunder. I love Shai Gilgeous-Alexander from right here in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. This guy is balling this season for the Thunder. But I'm not on the Thunder tonight in this game. They're going through a little. They're going through it for the first time a little bit. And I took them against the Lakers, and Lakers beat them. And I took them. I didn't take them against the Clippers, but I stayed off that game, and I didn't have confidence against a pretty good Clipper team. So they've lost 2 in a row. It's been a tough schedule. It's their 3rd road game in 4 nights for them. If you actually look on the road lately, it hasn't been great straight up or ATS for them away from the house, OKC. And I'm not stepping in front of Utah right now. This is incredible, this run that they're on at this point in time. It's 6 straight wins, 6 straight covers. It's 16-4 against the number at home. You want to go against that? 16-4 ATS at home. So I can't. I want to be on Utah, and this is the one team they're playing tonight that I cannot take Utah because I like the Thunder that much. So it's a game I'm not involved in again, other than a lean to the over. That's it.
Fair enough. I lean towards the over as well. Utah's been playing fast. I think OKC is definitely fine with pace, and I feel like both teams have been playing more over games lately. Yeah. So
that's the thing I would bet. Yeah.
I'll say this though, because I was liking the Jazz early on, as soon as they got healthy. Right now, something about this game, I don't like it. Like the Jazz have been playing this well all this time, and they're on a 9-game win streak at home, and they're underdogs still.
And now we see Lou Dort show up on the injury report too, and it's holding still at 3.5 right now. Yeah,
all of these guys that's on the injury report, it was nobody this morning, and the line's still not moving. Yeah. They are begging us to take.
The Jazz are dogs every fucking game, bro. Every
they've been favorites. Game. They've been favorites lately.
No, I mean, who they've been favorites against? Like,
it was a couple games.
Because I've been betting them as a fucking 7-point dog. Like I'm like, yeah, man.
Oh yeah, I was getting in on that good money too.
Okay, they were. Yeah, recently they were favored against
-7,
Indiana. Indiana. Yeah, okay.
They've been a little favorites now. So to see them flip back as a dog, and they have the rest advantage. I don't like to feel like I'm being like they're begging me to take this bet. So that's why I'm not taking the Jazz today, or I haven't taken the Jazz yet at least. Wham Bam, how you feel about this game? You liking a side? You thinking maybe Sexton, Clarkson, SGA? How you feeling?
I like the Jazz. Man. I like the Jazz, bro. And the way y'all breaking that shit down, I didn't lock this first half in yet, bro. But this was like the closest thing that I like. This is the one I'm about to play. I am not gonna lie, and I still don't feel like y'all talking me off of it either. I think that I just think like you guys said that. I mean, I don't like the fact that you did say like it's staying right here. It's not really moving. Is that because haven't no one made money with the Jazz? And I think that may be it, bro. I don't think people are making money with the Jazz. That's probably what it is. Like, I don't think nobody's making money with the Jazz. And that's the reason why I took that's why I'm like, the first half has got to be the play. Even if they don't win the full game, like, because I see people in the chat, yeah, the Thunder has been kind of owning them lately over the last 4 games. But most of 3 of those games are at the house. This is in the Jazz. This is a different situation, I think. And this is a good form that the Jazz are in right now. The fact that they're in good form and it's a bad form, even though those are bad spots, like you said, Babano, back-to-back LA spots. And I was on SGA in your absence there, trying to give him some pride. He definitely let me down there. No worries there. But for the most part, I still feel he is going to be the best player on the court. That is scary. But the first half, I got to still take this. I got to take the Jazz first half, man, plus 1.5. They've been holding it down ATS. 7-3 ATS last 10. 2-8 ATS this OKC. They just been slow to the damn ball. Maybe that's something that helps them get back to the shit, but fuck it, man. I'm taking the damn Jazz. I know Razor.
This is a razor sharp special. This is a razor sharp. OKC -3.5 right here.
I'm taking the first half, man. You can have a full game, Brick Dog.
The lines don't be making sense. With Utah, man.
This is an easy pass. This is the one team I cannot bet Oklahoma City against, and this is the kind of line that I cannot bet Utah with the fishy aura about this.
Oh, it's just hilarious to me, man. Yeah. I love Razor coming in.
Thunder, though. A lot of people like the Thunder. What I do like is fucking Babano don't like the Thunder. You don't pay the fucking attention. So you're not betting the Thunder, Skee. You just talking that shit, right?
Yeah, he talking shit. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you're not. You know what I mean? You probably fucking around with the Washington Wizards before you go be a Thunder buddy tonight.
You know what? After 2 losses in a row, you know what I will bet? I'll make it official. Shea over points. SGA over points. He'll have a big night. He doesn't want to lose 3 in a row on this road trip. He'll have a
That's
good
the one
game.
thing I don't like about this game. But bet's been placed. It's one unit, and I said it before the breakdown that I'm the least confident I've been on in Utah. Tonight because OKC is a young team too, and losing 2 straight to LA, they're gonna come in ready to go.
All right, fair enough.
Give me the first half.
Wham Bam said, get in and get out.
Let's get it, Wham Bam.
All right. Next game up, we got 527, 528. Memphis and Minnesota. This one is an ugly one. Minnesota open -12. We see -12.5 right now. Total open 217, down as low as 213.5. For the injury report on these two, Minnesota continues to have Clark out. For Memphis, Desmond Bain, Brandon Clark, Jake LaRavia, Derrick Rose, Marcus Smart, all out. Memphis, I mean, I don't know who want to touch this game. I feel disrespectful even passing this game to somebody. So I don't know. My bad, y'all. Whoever I give it to, I'm gonna go to Wham though. I'm gonna go to Wham though.
Like where's the fucking with these dirty ones? He's like, I'm gonna pass
I'm gonna go to Wham here. Memphis has been dirty without Ja, but I don't know. Maybe they can get Minnesota here with Minnesota on a back-to-back. How you feeling about this one? Is there any props to be had? Anything to be had in this Memphis and Minnesota game?
I don't know if I'm a dirty wordy specialist yet, but this will definitely give me that vibe, bro. This will definitely give me that vibe. And I ain't gonna lie, I could see this shit happening, man. I could see this shit happening. Timberwolves, though, I'm not gonna lie. This is where we have to put some respect on their name, though. They're really favorites like this for a reason. And this is not one of those games like they're going to be looking around and dilly-daddling, I don't think. I think they're at home, in front of their fans. They're going to have some sort of pride here, knowing that they're a little bit better of a team, going up against inferior points. I wanted to say, bro, if you take Minnesota, bro, you gotta take a prop going along with it. I think you gotta take like a prop to go along with it. That way you don't feel too fucked over. If there's a backdoor cover type thing going on here, because this is one of those games that they don't care about scoring more than 13 points, but they do want to keep the double digits. So it could be like 11-point win and you got the 12.5 type of bullshit. I don't know, bro. This is a tricky ass game, like you said. I don't want to pass it to nobody either, bro. And I think I just got to take a kick at Dutch. I know Dutch don't give a fuck about this game, man. Back with this motherfucker
then. Exactly. But Bono, you can have it, my guy.
Yeah. Look, I laid this exact number. I laid this exact number last night with New Orleans. And what did that tell me? It told me that I can't be scared to lay double digits sometimes. So I am going to lay a doubles here with Minnesota in this spot tonight. I know it's a back-to-back. It's a rest advantage for Memphis, but I think Memphis is awful right now. I don't know actually how they beat Golden State, though, in that last game, but that tells you all you need to know about where Golden State is right now. But let's not forget this team got destroyed by New York and the Clippers, and they had a blowout loss to Sacramento by 31 recently as well. So I still don't have great utmost faith right now in Memphis at this point in time. So I'm going to grab a small bet, nothing substantial, but I'm going to look toward Minnesota here. Again, Minnesota at home still from an ATS perspective, very good. 16-2 straight up, 11-7 against the number. For me, I'm going to take a little Minnesota -12.
And I'm just in church, y'all. I'm just in church. I feel the same way Bavano feels. I'm just in church, bro. I feel the same way, bro.
Well, Bavano's willing to get involved in this dirty game. He's going to take the home team. Thinks they'll win in blowout fashion. I will be on the sideline. So I wish you luck in that one, Bobano. Move on over to the last game today, 529, 530. Indiana and Sacramento opened up Sacramento -8.5. Now looking at mostly 8s. There's 1 8.5 I bet online that I see. Total open 243.5, and it looks like 245 right now. Injury report, I don't see anybody for Sacramento. For Indiana, Siakam and Hallie have both been ruled out. Obi Toppin, Neesmith, Mathurin, all game time decision. I feel like it's safe. It's safe to come to Dutch on this one. I mean, it was Dutch's favorite team at one point in time. I'm gonna say this: Sacramento is still on my hell no list. They're still on my absolutely I want nothing to do with list. They have covered a few games. They play some tough opponents as underdogs, but expecting them to win by margin at a rest disadvantage, and especially I'm gonna just get it all out right now before I pass it to you, just so you know I'm not setting you up. Sacramento, what? First game back after a long road trip. They've been gone for 5+ days, and the way that they lost that last game, they were up by 20 plus. They let them come back and steal that game. I feel like a flat spot plus deflated. I feel like there's nothing really to like about Sacramento in this spot. And then after this game, I feel like they just want to get through the 48 minutes because after this game they get 3 days off. So I like Indiana. How you feeling about it, Dutch?
Yeah, man. I honestly tend to look the other way here, but I'm with you though. How you started it, I'm not really with laying this many points for Sacramento, but Indiana moving. Bruce Brown doing some obviously having the new acquisition, but it won't be on the court tonight. And that they got the head of the snake out with Holly, but when I look at this, man. They had to play back, in Denver. Just in the last couple nights, they played at Denver and Utah. Those are 2 tough places to go play travel wise. Extert 4 quarters in, and now you a little light-handed as well. So, and you're going against a Sacramento team. I look at it the other way, bro. You are 22 with 8 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Like you get that up, I think you show up to the gym feeling a little different the next day. Shoot around ain't the same. You know what I mean? You feel some type of way. You got to be, and you got young guys, like young, talented guys like De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis. You throw these guys, Keegan Murray as well. Like they ready to go, man. They should be ready to get back on the court and make up for obviously something that was very unlikely to happen. And at the same time, you do have the trade factor. This is. Sabonis going back or, playing against his team. Like, they're going to want to win it for Sabonis. I know too bad Hallie ain't out there because De'Aaron Fox will obviously really want to try to bust his ass. But he probably still going to do his thing. Like, hey, don't, I know all this hype about Hallie, but don't forget about this kid in Sacramento. So, yeah, I tend to think a little different than you, but the number's too big for me. So, but I would expect the Kings to show up tonight.
All right, I'm coming to Babano. What do you expect out of this game?
I don't want to lay this number with Sacramento. They're just not in good form right now. I look at the what they've done. Now, they've played 3 really good teams, Philly, Milwaukee, Phoenix, but blown out Milwaukee game was down to the wire. Phoenix was pretty close. And then Philadelphia, that was a terrible collapse against Phoenix. And then the Philly game, they got blown out. But that's a brutal loss against Phoenix. Like, you are up for the majority of that basketball game, and you can't, I know they're going to be, chomping at the bit, you would think, right, after 3 straight losses, but there could be a hangover too. Like, that is a loss you can't have. And I know Phoenix can be really good, have potential to be really good, but that is a game you got to find a way to win. You're up by 18 for crying out loud with 5 or 6 minutes to go, and somehow you don't win that game the other night. There could be a hangover for Sacramento. I haven't bet it yet, but I'm leaning Pacers. And I might move on Indiana here, plus 8.5 in this game. And here's why. I mean, I'm waiting on Benedict Mathurin, Neesmith, some of these supporting cast players, whether they're going to be in. They're all questionable. But look what Toronto played like last night. Phenomenal. The Siakam trade, and they played like their hair was on fire, through the roof, sky high. You think Indiana might have that same kind? Like, they know Siakam's on the way. He's not going to play tonight, but they know they're bolstering this team for a run in the Eastern Conference playoffs. I don't know how deep that run's going to go because they got to deal with Boston, Milwaukee, Philly, New York, Cleveland, a lot of good teams in the East. But I'm telling you what, you get that's a bolt of energy and electricity and adrenaline through the whole team when you trade for a guy like Siakam that says, make us better. We're going to be a better team. We're going to make a push here in the Eastern Conference for a franchise that's done very little in the last few years. That's significant. That means something. And I could see this trade and then playing this first game since the trade going right to their legs tonight in this game against a Sacramento team that just doesn't have the consistency right now that I trust laying this kind of number. So I would actually, I'm looking long and hard at Indiana. I'm gonna say I probably will be on them before tip off tonight. So Indiana plus the points for me. And I will say this, early in the season how much I loved my Indiana overs, but not tonight. They have not gone over the total one single time since Tyrese Halliburton got injured. He got injured in that Boston game. That game still ended up going over the total. He didn't finish that game. But since then, these next few games for Indiana that he hasn't started, every single game has gone under the total. So clearly these Indiana totals have not been adjusted enough downward in the absence of Halliburton. So it's actually a time I would lean under.
And I can't argue against that. Pacers have gone under 5 of their last 6. And without Hallie, that is going to hinder the offense. They're saying Nembhard is now questionable. That's not a good sign for the Pacers, but I still like the Pacers. I mean, it's still a play against the Kings in the spot that the Kings are in. Pacers, so far they've still been playing good basketball no matter who's been out there on the court. 9-2-1 against the spread their last 12. And on the front end of a back-to-back, because the Pacers do play tomorrow, they are 5-2 straight up, 6-1 against the spread. So coming to you here, Wham Bam, this is the dirty dog that I like. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, you kind of talked me into it, bro. And this one makes the most sense too, because like you said, Babano, this could have some serious hangover after losing those 2 games. You got the coach pointing at the damn computer. You got the damn, you know what I'm saying? You lose like you lose to Phoenix. And
a couple of replays, Mike Brown, are not why you lost that game. You had an 18-point lead, so spare me the laptop demonstrations, please.
But that shit is hilarious, bro. Gotta be one of the funniest memes, bro, so far for 2024. But I would say I don't want to light the beam at all in this spot at all. I don't want to pick that Pookie pipe at all. And even though it's a bonus going up against his old team, he ain't really did shit. If you look at the stats against his old team, the Pacers, he really ain't did shit in the 2 opportunities he's had. And this is obviously a better chance here, but Nembhard being downgraded to questionable does give me a little concern. I'm not going to lie, because I'm thinking, and without Halliburton, who is going to be out there? But Nembhard hasn't really been doing too much. It's been more of a collective effort. He's been going over double-digit points over his last 5 games without Halliburton. I think 14, 12, 10, 2, and 4. But for the most part, it ain't really something crazy. And I'm not touching the Pookie pipe, bro. Yeah, man, not at all, bro. I think there's no way I'm lighting the beam at all. This is a crazy number. I will only think to play that +8 with the Pacers here. So nothing official here, but I'm right there with you, bro. It got to be the Pacers here. I think that hangover is real, like Babano was saying.
All right, Wham Bam. Thinking he could get there. Shout out to my guy, Who Banging Sports Talk. It's all my guys right there, but it could be any one of my guys. But giving out the $5 dono says
Appreciate
cheers.
It's a great group.
Appreciate it.
I'm thinking DJ Big Bot. Who else? Nobody else.
That's what I thought too.
It better not be
exactly.
Boss got money. Boss got money.
Boss got money too.
Shout out to Boss. You know what I mean? The Donna Who Banging. Good to see you.
Appreciate you, DJ. Big Boss, appreciate you. All right, we got through today's card. So we are going to touch tomorrow just a little bit like we usually do. And we usually go to Babano first. So I'll keep that in order. Not as many games on a Friday. There is one that is postponed. Any of these other 7 that catch your attention?
Yeah, right now, as far as tomorrow, I'm certainly, I think, going to be on San Antonio plus the points against Charlotte. Charlotte's awful. Charlotte's brutal. Charlotte straight up is brutal. ATS is brutal. I laid the points with the Pelicanos against them last night. Sorry-ass Hornets team right now. Even LaMelo Ball hasn't helped them out enough. They've been terrible. How are they laying 4.5? And I know San Antonio can be sometimes untrustworthy, but I'm definitely looking at the points there with the Spurs. Philly and Orlando. I did cash with Orlando last night, plus the points against Atlanta. Do I come back to them here? We'll see. I might. I'm leaning that way, but I need to do a little more looking into it. I don't know if I trust Philly right now, laying 5 on the road. I still can't get that Atlanta game out of my head. They kind of blew it last week when they went on the road. Denver, Boston, maybe an over there. We'll see. Phoenix, New Orleans. I like the way the Pelicans are playing right now. Now, I know the Suns can be, when they're at their best, and you don't always get their best. They've been bad favorites, too, but they're dogs this time. That being said, I like what I'm seeing out of New Orleans. So I mild lean to the Pelicans as small home favorites. Atlanta, Miami. I got to think Miami bounces back just because that was so bad, so pathetic from them last night against Toronto. So I'd maybe look at Miami minus 5.5 against Atlanta tomorrow night. We have no line for Indiana, Portland, no line for Brooklyn, Lakers.
All right, good stuff. I'll slide it on over to my guy Wham Bam, and 7 games, couple with no lines. Anything catch your attention right away?
I see the Lakers are at 6.5 against the Nets there, so I do definitely like the Lakers there. I think they're giving them respect, and the Nets sucks, bro. So keep fading the Nets. That's probably a good look right there.
Hate to say it, but I would lean Lakers there. I probably won't bet it, but I'd lean Lakers. Yep.
For sure. But I agree with you, Babano. I don't want to trust the 76ers going up against Bataze crew in the Magic there. I think that they have a chance to kind of get a little spicy in Orlando. I think that the Hornets, man, I don't want to take the Hornets here. I know Terry's trying to go to Miami. He made a request to go to Miami, and then the Spurs are looking to trade people as well. So kind of looking to at some of these teams a little fishy here pre-trade deadline. And these two are both, so I'm probably staying away from this game. As far as the Nuggets, being back that they're on the East Coast, I think they're going to lose this game, but it's maybe one of those tough games because it's a highlight ESPN game. I'm really happy about that one, too. I think you're going to ready to watch that one. But other than that, man, I don't really see anything else that stands out to me other than that Pacers against the Trailblazers, because obviously we took the Trailblazers yesterday. Very looking into what the Pacers look like today. I know that you're going to get Pascal tomorrow, probably Halliburton tomorrow against the Trailblazers there. So that's going to be an interesting game to look into, because I think the Trailblazers still may be able to sneak in a cover there. But 2 new teams, 2 new guys coming in there, they might be a little too overwhelming there. The Pacers, the Trailblazers having that good game with Anthony Simons winning it down the line there. I think that's a good morale boost for them to keep things a little going, at least be competitive there and cover the game. So that's and again, no line there, but I expect them to be probably considerable favorites based off of the hype behind the trade and all that shit.
All right, good stuff. Dutch, how you feeling about Friday?
Yeah, man. Pelicanos first half, I'll be looking at that. Barely missed it last game. It was kind of high though against them bum ass Hornets. So you miss a good bet, you got to bet it again. Pelicanos first half seems pretty good to me against these Suns. Beantown, we gonna, what I'm saying, it's Leprechauns, man. I like them in that game. I think they're out to prove something. So really, all that really stands out to me at this time. Lakers, I was thinking, yeah, that'd be nice against Brooklyn until Wham Bam said 6.5. Forget about it.
All right, I'm next up. Yeah, 6+ years strong. He says cappers that I can count on. Blessed. Absolutely appreciate each and every one of you, and appreciate you, big boss. So me looking at it right now, I don't want anything to do with San Antonio and Charlotte. Don't want anything to do with it. Philly, Orlando. I think Philly plays again the following day. That makes me just uneasy even thinking about that game. I just don't have the greatest read on Orlando, so I'll leave that one alone. Denver and Boston, 232.5. I can see it being more of a defensive kind of game. Yeah, I think 2 of the more top dogs. I think they play more of like a playoff kind of game tomorrow. So I might lean towards under. I don't really want to be involved in the side. New Orleans, Phoenix. I agree with Dutch. I like New Orleans first half. I don't really want a whole lot to do with Phoenix right now until they kind of figure it out. Atlanta and Miami. Atlanta's on the front end of a back-to-back, and Miami, like Bobano said, should be a little bit pissed off about their last outing and take it out on the Hawks in that one. So we'll look their way. Indiana, Portland, unsure. and Brooklyn Lakers. Lakers have been better, been a little bit more consistent, but I still need to see something, so I'll pass on that. And good job from everybody on the NBA look ahead. We did talk about the NFL a little bit on Tuesday, but we were missing Babano. So I want to ask you, Babano, we have some good games coming up. Um, any thoughts, any opinions on them from you? You're muted.
Yeah, I actually have to get going in about 5 or 6 minutes, so I'm going to keep this very brief. Just brief thoughts, not too much analysis. I think Houston is going to give Baltimore a game. I don't know about win, but that's a lot of points to be giving C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans right now. And let's remember about Lamar and the Ravens. 1-4 in the postseason, and they've averaged less than 20 points per game. Be careful with that. So I think that's a competitive game. The favorite I like on Saturday is the second game. San Francisco. I don't want to lay it with San Francisco, but I'm going to take their team total over 29.5. I think they get into the 30s. I think Joe Barry, the defensive coordinator for the Packers, versus Kyle Shanahan, head coach and OC for San Francisco, is a mismatch. I think it's an absolute coaching mismatch, and I think you give Shanahan this extra time. They are absolutely going to be able to move the ball at will against Green Bay. I know Green Bay's defense forced Dallas into turnovers and mistakes. I think Purdy at home can avoid those. And the Green Bay run defense still blows. It's terrible. And Dallas couldn't exploit it because Tony Pollard, first of all, he hasn't been great since the broken leg injury. He hasn't been the same back. And second of all, they were down big. They had to throw the ball so much. So this time it's going to be different. San Francisco will move the ball here in this one. I think when you look at this game, you're going to go San Francisco will win probably in the 13 to 17-point range. I think it could be close to the number. I'll say 38, 24, that kind of game, or 35-21. I could see something like that. I think San Fran gets into the 30s. I really like team total over for the Niners, but I also like full game over 50.5 as well. So I think Green Bay will contribute enough points with Jordan Love, especially through the back door if need be late in the game, to get it over the total. And, of course, no weather issues as well in San Francisco on Saturday night. And then on Sunday, Tampa Bay, Detroit. I think Detroit's the right side, but I don't know about laying close to 7 now. But I don't believe in Tampa as much. Tampa took a Philly collapse down the stretch. They took advantage of Philly. Now you go on the road against Detroit at Ford Field. I think the Lions in a teaser are a good route. I lean to them minus the 6.5, 7. And this is one where I'd probably lean over as well. No issues with weather indoors at Ford Field. And I think Tampa's defense is going to struggle a lot more than they did against Philadelphia here against Goff and this balanced Detroit offense. And I think Baker and the Bucs offense can move the ball through the air. They'll move the ball because Detroit's not got a great secondary. And because they won't be able to run the ball with White, they'll throw the ball more, and I think that's good for the over as well with Bucs and Lions. And then the last game, Chiefs and Bills, I think it's time for Josh Allen to beat Mahomes, and I think he will. Less than a field goal. This is the first ever road playoff game for the Chiefs. Their defense is really good for Kansas City, and the Buffalo D does have some injuries. But I think they're going to get a lot of those defensive players back, the Bills. I think you're looking at a Chiefs team that offensively, this is the weakest Chiefs offense in years, other than Rice and a little bit of Kelsey. They have nothing else going for them as far as receiver is concerned. I like the running back, Pacheco, but at receiver, they have nothing else. Let's see Mahomes win a big-time road playoff game in a loud environment. Let's see him have to change the signs at the line of scrimmage and hear a loud crowd affecting him for a change in a spot like this. So Bills time, Bills Mafia, Sunday night.
All right, good stuff from Babano. And once again, Wham, Dutch, and myself all gave a brief breakdown, just like Babano just did on Tuesday, so you can go back and check it out. And let's just get to it. I know we got to get to where we got to go. So best bets, I'll start with you, Babano, and let the people know how they can get paid.
Clear best bet. It's not even close that this is my favorite play. Chicago, Toronto, over 227.5. Love it. I think it goes over the number, points both ways. Toronto's playing at a breakneck, blistering pace. And I think their possession and pace numbers go up even more after Siakam got dealt. I mean, they were playing even faster. Quickly and Barrett come in. They already play a little bit faster. And then they minus Siakam. I thought they played even faster than that last night against Miami. So over 227.5 for the Heat. Sorry, not for the Heat. Over 227.5 Bulls and Raptors tonight for my best bet.
All right, good stuff from Babano. We'll move it on over to Wham Bam and let the people know what's a good one for tonight. How we gonna make some money?
Yeah, we're gonna keep it in the same game with Babano, man. We're gonna go to Scotty Barnes. I like a lot with Scotty Barnes here, but I'm gonna give you the favorites here. I like the over 7.5 rebounds. He's been able to do that four out of the last five attempts against the Bulls. And again, without Siakam, I think he gets a little bit more rebounds attempts. He didn't get this last game, but I think it's a lot more towards the shooting a three. And I like the over 19.5 points. So give me the over 19.5 points for Pascal. For Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes got to be the guy today, and he goes over the 7.5 rebounds as well.
All right, Wham Bam, good stuff. I'll go next, and I'm gonna roll with the little dirty one here today. It's pretty dirty. Dirty hasn't been good the last 2 days, but it's been good to us lately. We're going with the Pacers. +8 is the number I got. +8 looks like the best number you can get right now. Just think it's a terrible spot for the Kings. I think that they're in a flat spot for one, and they're also deflated off the way they lost that game. So Pacers, they're the opposite. They get a little bit of a boost just knowing that they get another star coming to town. They're with the trade. They've already let us know that the Pacers want to win. So they've been playing good enough basketball lately. I think even without Halliburton, they can stay within the margin. Pacers +8, my best bet of the day. And last but not least, we'll slide it over to Dutch. Let the people know how they can get paid and take us home.
Yeah, man. Take note. Believe it. At the crib, it's good money, man. +3, 3.5, whatever you can get. They win that game outright. That's right. No Thunder Buddies tonight. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the motherfucking video. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed, and let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.